She prayed over my mama. This is part 4. Story about how my 78-year-old mother was a victim of elder financial abuse. Now, on February 1st of this year, my younger sister gave me a call. She was very upset. She believed that my mom had taken out a mortgage on the home. She told me that the evangelist, and we'll call her Kim, that the evangelist Kim had helped my mother secure this mortgage, that Kim had been working with my mom to make sure that she had all the documents to get this mortgage, and actually brought her to her bank, turns out her bank, to get this mortgage completed. My sister was also very concerned because she believed that my mother may have given Kim some of the proceeds from this mortgage, and that there were people at the home right then that they were demoing the upstairs of my mother's living room. Now, this caused me a great deal of anxiety because, number one, my mom was recently widowed. My father had passed away. There was a mortgage already owed on the home. I had an idea as to who was doing the work on the construction of the home, and that caused me great concern. Now, I immediately asked my sister, how much did my mom take out? She said she didn't know. She said that my mom didn't tell her. She said that that the people that were there doing the work were in fact from her church. Now, I asked her, did my mom sign anything regarding the construction that was ongoing then at the home? She told me she did not believe so. Now, I lived 1,100 miles away, and because I wasn't there, I immediately got on the phone and contacted my other sister. The church construction people I knew to be was a deacon from the church, and we'll call him Walter. Now, the deacon Walter was married, or is married, to the evangelist, and she goes by Evangelist Kim. Another person that was part of this construction crew from the church was an actual construction owner. He owned a construction company. We'll call him Stephen. I'm also told that another person was also a minister at that church, and we'll call him Lawrence. Now, a few years prior to this, my nephew and I had taken on trying to update my mother's home. We started with my mother's bathroom, one of my mother's bathroom, not the primary bathroom that she used. We removed the popcorn ceiling, took down the paper, the wallpaper, the old tile, stripped the flooring and laid down some slate floor, bought a new radiator cover, bought shelves for her. We had also even replaced the toilet. I hired a plumber because I don't mess with electricity or water. I also replaced the vanity top. Now, I did this during COVID, and I would travel back and forth from where I resided. And at that time, I only resided 6 hours. So I would often drive up on weekends or take on my vacation time, and over a period of a few months, and we'd work. Whenever I was in town, we'd work on my mother's home. Now, during this time, I also had bought some quality flooring to actually replace the old carpet in her home. Now, we had also tore up her carpet, and there was enough flooring there because I really wanted my mom to have nice things. I bought some really nice tile that I would have wanted in my home because my mom didn't buy herself nice things. And so that's one thing that I wanted to do for my mom because I couldn't afford to actually pay someone to come in and do it, and because I was very handy doing my own DIY projects around my house and others, I decided that we would do her home. Now, At the last juncture, I didn't get chance to finish the tile work. There was still some tile. I left it ungrouted because I knew there were some pieces that I wanted to switch out because I knew that there were some tiles that I could replace with later. Now, in between the last time I was there, apparently some of the construction people from her church had visited my mom's home. And they had convinced her that they could come in and finish updating the bathroom and install the flooring that I'd already purchased. She needed $6,000. At that time, I had it. So I gave it to her. And they began the process of updating, but it dragged on. Now, months on end, and they had already been paid, and these are people from her church. And even a couple years later, bathroom was still not done, and the flooring was never done. And I'd asked my mom, when are they going to come and finish this? And she said, well, this is part of their ministry. They help seniors, and it's going to cost a whole lot more. And I only gave them this money, and it's going to cost a lot more. And they have to get to their paying customers. And they're doing this, out of the ministry, their ministry. And she said, they're going to get to it. So whenever I ask her, she get flustered. Now, after my younger sister had told me this, still trying to keep her promise, I didn't confront my mother. I immediately called my other sister, and I told her what was going on. I said, I need you all, meeting her and her husband, to go over there the next day and take pictures. Document, tell me what's going on. And my sister said, Mom's going to be mad. I said, do it anyway. My sister, I don't want her mad at me. I said, well, she going to know I sent you. Go ahead and do it. She going to know it's me. I'll take the brunt of it because she going to know I sent you. So the next day, February 2nd, mind you, my sister and her husband go over to the home. The construction, the deacon, the owner of the company, and a few other men from the church were over there demoing my mother's upper level. So they proceed, they take pictures. My brother-in-law speaks to, the gentleman, and because he finds out that there are no permits that are in the window or no permits around. And so my brother-in-law asked, did y'all pull any permits? What's going on here? And the response that he got, they didn't pull permits because it had been more expensive had they pulled permits to do the work that needed to be done. Now, mind you, they were taking down beams, they were doing electrical, they were doing things that required a permit. So at this point, my sister and brother-in-law survey the whole area of my mother's home. They take pictures and they leave. Later that evening, I received a phone call from my mom that I will always remember, that still affects me to this day.